All right. Hello, all you fine citizens of Los Santos. I am your Supreme Justice, Mike Kiffer. Before we begin things, I wish to lay out the rules of my courtroom. Contempt will begin at $5,000 and go up from there. I will not tolerate any outbursts or violence from anyone in this room. Smoking is allowed, but please remove any masks or hats and silence your phone now or face contempt when it rings. With all that being said, we are here today to perform a bench trial. I now call us into session. Mr. Stack, you are standing charge of the following. Please plead to each. Robbery,
Not guilty.
hostage taking,
Not guilty.
evading,
Guilty.
aggravated assault,
Wait, what? Can I confer with my lawyer for 2 seconds?
you may.
I wouldn't do that right now.
Not guilty.
Attempted murder of a government employee times 4.
Not guilty times 4.
Thank you. Prosecution, your opening.
I mean, I can if you want me to. Thank you, Your Honor, and it's great to be in this courtroom once again under your very diligent processes. Your Honor, we here accuse the individual, the member of the defense, Mr. Stacks, of several crimes related to an offense that occurred at the 24/7 on Sonora Freeway. But most pertinently, we are charging him with 4 counts of attempted murder of a government official. These charges stem from him whilst in lawful custody at DPD inside of our cells. He broke himself out, proceeded to knock out an officer, steal a knife from a Department of Corrections bag, and use that not only to attack me, the arresting officer, but 3 other officers, including our fantastic law clerk over there, and stab them in an attempt to secure his own freedom. These offenses required medical attention for multiple officers and
1 second,
medical attention
prosecution.
for
I
the
apologize. Whose phone is that?
Someone's finna get contempt.
It's
Bailiff?
Lindsay's phone.
I believe that
Your
was the
Honor.
911 call, sir.
All right, I said silence
There's
your
a
phones, and I mean
giant
all
lizard
phones.
knocking on the door.
Your Honor, may I
Whose
have my
phone is that?
phone to put it on silence?
All right, if another phone goes off, it's going to be contempt. If an officer has your phone, it is their responsibility. So if it goes off, they'll be getting contempt. Prosecution, please continue. Apologies.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, to continue my point, the evidence in which the prosecution will present here today will prove that Mr. Stacks was a part of a robbery that occurred on Sonora Freeway of 24/7. That he did, in fact, take a hostage during said robbery, evaded, as he has already pled guilty towards during your opening session, good sir, and following his successful capture, proceeded to stab multiple members of law enforcement to try and secure his escape. The evidence in which the prosecution will present today is irrefutable. We have guns that he used to shoot at officers, hence aggravated assault, and we have the knife still covered in blood of myself and several other officers who attempted to detain him inside the cells of our own department. In attendance, we have witnesses who will prove our story to be true beyond a reasonable doubt, and we ask you in this instance, following the conclusion of this trial, that you will take into account everything we provided to you to ensure that this gentleman, a dangerous gentleman, does not find himself on the streets once more without some sort of rehabilitation. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. So, what I'm going to argue here today, Your Honor, is 2 main points. And they will be number 1, intent, and number 2, bias. You're going to hear that these officers made it clear to me and my client in the cells based on last night's events, where his sister got a very light sentence, they believe. In another case, I argued that they need to make a point here now. So I believe they've overcharged my client a pretty good bit here with a lot of bias. And I'm going to argue intent because I don't know if you've heard my client back here talking, but he's kind of a dumbass. He thinks he's funny. He's really not. And I'm pretty sure he's on drugs. I think he's not a murderer, though. I just don't think he's quite all there, if you know what I'm saying. You're also going to hear when law enforcement arrested him, they took him into custody with a gunshot wound. They did not attempt to get him medical treatment. They put him into a police car in handcuffs, and the officer actually stopped and got gas before he took him to the jail. I don't know, Your
Can't wait
Honor.
for him to back that up.
We got a lot of things to talk about here. I'm sorry this can't be an easy one. I feel like if there was a DA working, we probably wouldn't be under these circumstances because he was willing to plead down. Thank you.
Thank you, defense. Prosecution. First witness.
All right. We would like to call Officer Jones, Thomas Jones, to the stand.
The court recognizes Officer Thomas Jones.
Can you tell us about the store robbery you responded to on Sonora Freeway?
I can. So we got a call from dispatch of a store robbery up on Sonora Freeway near the U-Tool. I arrived with my partner, Sergeant Stiles. As we arrived, we saw two suspects inside, one hostage in the center of the store. I walked up and began negotiations for what we could do for the safe release of the hostage. I checked, how he was doing, if he was hungry, if he was thirsty, make sure he wasn't hurt before asking them what their demands were and how long they would need.
Okay. So you said there were two people in the store. Can you describe these people?
One had one was a male, one was a female. One had a cookie mask and pink hair. I'll be honest with you, the other one at the time was off in the back corner of the him with a mask on, with black hair, and like a suit jacket, which is black and like a red undershirt. I believe his pants were like a brown color.
Okay. Do you see anyone matching that description in here today?
I do. Mr. Stack over there next to Sammy Sidewalks, the lawyer.
All right. And you said there was a hostage?
Yeah, there was a hostage.
So what was going on with the hostage?
The hostage was being held at gunpoint in the middle. Actually, if you don't mind me saying, the hostage is here in the court today. He's in the yellow. He was in the middle of the store, being held at gunpoint. They were asking for the LS special being free passage, no spike strips to let the hostage go.
Objection, Your Honor.
What is your objection?
This is going to be hearsay.
Michaela, can you repeat back with the last thing the witness said, last sentence?
Something about the Los Santos special letting the hostage go.
Your Honor, do you want my rebuttal?
Go
The
for
objection
it.
was hearsay?
The objection was hearsay, yes.
Okay.
I would like to hear your rebuttal, prosecution.
Well, I guess he's just more saying this is what was requested. He didn't say a specific person said it. He didn't put that on the defendant there specifically. He was just relaying what was requested of the officers in that ongoing situation.
Okay, that's going to be sustained.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So after breaking off, did you get involved in his arrest or anything involving him after that?
Yeah, so once we had dealt with our other call down at Benny's, we had then got back to patrolling, and he had over the radio an urgent request for help down at PD from Officer Fitzpatrick. So
All
we
right,
rushed on over.
and
Oh.
what did you respond to at the PD, or what did you see when you responded? I apologize.
When I got to PD, I ensured Fitzpatrick was okay, except he wasn't. He was on the ground, stabbed, bloody. So I took him out of the cells and ensured his safety above all else.
So when you were down in the cells, were there any other suspects down there?
Negative. There was no one else to be seen.
All right. So was there anyone there that could have caused these injuries to the officers besides Mr. Stacks here?
Negative.
All right. I believe we have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
Defense, cross-examination.
I don't really have anything to ask this officer, Your Honor.
Alrighty, sir, you may step down. Please know that you may be recalled at a later date, so do not go far.
Sounds good.
Prosecution, second witness.
Yes, we would like to call Officer Fitzpatrick.
The court recognizes Officer Cillian Fitzpatrick.
Now, is it pronounced Cillian or Killian?
Killian.
What is it? You go. Speak up, boy.
Killian.
Killian.
All right.
I was the second unit to arrive on scene, and I was responsible at the time for relaying descriptions of individuals inside the store, of which I relayed that I spotted a female with pink hair and some sort of mask on her face, and a secondary individual matching Mr. Stack's appearance in the corner. I also stated at the time that they appeared to have one hostage, but I did not mention his description at the time.
All right. So you're the radio guy.
And that I was.
So did you witness them running out of the store?
Yes, I did. I watched the two individuals involved stepping into a vehicle and fleeing from the store at a high rate of speed. Well, I say a high rate of speed. Actually, she pulled over at one point with the second male suspect in the car and asked us, what was the speed limit?
That's pretty funny.
Okay. And did you hear any negotiating at the gas pumps?
I partially led some negotiations there. I demanded the male individual, who I believe to be present in this courtroom in the defense's section, holding a gun against that gentleman's head. I did attempt to negotiate him and ask him to drop his firearm, but he didn't. I was listening to radio communications at the time that we'd lost visual contact with the male suspect in the stolen vehicle, and as I had come outside chasing after the female suspect, I saw the same vehicle in which Mr. Stack had previously stole pull up and let the same female suspect into his vehicle, at which point I pursued them once more.
And did you see the driver in that instant?
Not at the gas station. However, we did not lose visual following that point up until Stab City. And I know that it was the same vehicle at the time. And the gap between the officers losing visual contact and me regaining visual contact, wherein the male suspect picked up his co-conspirator, was sort of less than a minute.
All right. Was he provided medical treatment?
When he was put inside of my car at the time, there was no indication that he required medical attention. En route to Los Santos, as we were entering inside the city limits, he informed me that he required medical attention. and I radioed out that I was canceling my 76, which is I'm going to X location, which at the time was DPD for processing. I informed over dispatch that I was changing my location to the hospital to render and have him be served with first aid and relevant treatment, as he said he required it.
Okay. So let's fast forward a bit down in the cells. How did that go when you guys got to the station?
Quite well, the individual involved, Mr. Stack, he was amenable initially to my requests. Everything was going pretty well. He'd asked, "Can he have a statutory phone call?" And I'd allowed him to keep his phone to do so, in which I believe he was trying to contact either his sister or a lawyer. And things were pretty well. Unfortunately, I hadn't seized some lockpicks from this individual. And whilst I was writing my report, the cell door swung open and I found myself being thrown to the floor by what I can only describe as moves that I've seen on TV and things like UFC fights. I found myself being picked up and thrown to the floor.
Dude,
And the very next thing you know, he had seized the knife that I had placed inside of DLC bag that was still in the hallway at the time out of his reach. And that knife was brought against me to try and stab me.
And did you get stabbed?
I got stabbed many a times, and I'd like it to be known that this fine canine over there, Mr. Glorp Glorp, was able to enter the cells and prevent me from what I believe being killed.
All right. Well, that sounds like some serious harm was done to you.
I've got to admit, I thought I was going to die. I remember screaming on the radio, and I called it 1013, which doesn't happen very often. 1013 being, officer down, immediate assistance required. It normally predates any other calls and ensures that everyone gets there.
Now, was there anyone else in the cells with you?
At the time of the attack, it was only myself and the defendant.
All right.
So I just want to clarify on the scene. You said that he did not tell you he needed medical attention?
Not at the time. He informed me that he required medical attention as we entered the city limits of Los Santos.
Okay. Based on some conversation we had in the cells, did you pull your lethal weapon out?
I am sorry. I'd have to ask you to clarify because lethal option was pulled on several occasions. I just want to be sure which one you're talking about.
When you and another officer were talking down the cells, I overheard him say he thought only tasers were pulled out on the scene, and you, I believe, said you pulled out your lethal and fired.
What is your objection?
Scope.
That is going to be sustained.
Okay, clarifying my question, officer, at the scene, did you pull out your lethal and fire?
I did fire, but
Oh wait,
not
objection. Question unclear. There were multiple scenes.
Okay. I don't think that's unclear, Your Honor. He knows what I'm talking about.
Just for the sake of the record here, let's clarify the scene. If you would mind one more rephrase. But counselor.
Okay, let me just restate the question completely. Officer, did you at any point shoot this subject?
Yep.
No.
That works.
You're sure of that?
I am.
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Okay, that just doesn't fit what I heard earlier, but I'll move on.
I mean, I don't mind clarifying if
Nothing
justice
pending.
and
Objection.
prosecution does.
Yeah, sir, please only answer once an individual asks you a question. Mr. Sidewalks has to ask you the questions right now.
Your Honor, to protect himself from perjury, I think you should let him continue if he would like to.
Your Honor, I don't mind. I can.
All right. Go ahead.
I had deployed lethal force during the arrest of your defendant, but not in the apprehension of him. During the arrest, Trent was getting by the defendant, as was Superstar, who was available at the time. Because of where we were in that sort of area, there was a mountain cougar that had approached us all and was trying to bite me. And because I had lethal in my hand and was ordering the defendant to step down, I had shot the cougar. But I am confident to say that I had never shot the defendant. I had shot a cougar that was attempting to eat all three of us.
Officer, what do you believe his state of mind was in the cells?
He seemed at the time very amenable. I'd had a very good conversation with
Okay.
him on the way to the cells.
That's what he was trying to get at. Let's get
I've been
that to him.
informed by Superstar that he was, potentially going through a rough patch, and I took some sympathy on him for that. But that sympathy almost led to me being killed.
What made you come to the cells at DPD?
I responded to a call for help inside this holding cells.
All right, and who called for help inside the cells?
I'm unsure. I believe it was Killian, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Did they specify anything on the radio, or just that they needed help?
Just that a call for help was needed in the cells.
Was the suspect inside of a cell?
Yes.
And was the cell locked?
I don't recall.
Okay. Was the door open?
I don't recall.
Okay. Was the suspect the only person in there?
Yes.
All right. And when you say suspect, who are you talking about?
The defendant.
All right. So you saw the defendant with a knife. Was the knife clean?
I couldn't tell.
Were you able to identify the officer or find the officer, excuse me, that called for help?
Yes, he was laying on the floor.
All right. And where was he compared to the defendant?
Just outside the cell block, the actual cell, on the floor.
And would that be the cell that the defendant was standing in?
Yes.
Okay. And when he was down on the ground, did you notice anything about him?
No.
Just that he was laying there?
Yes.
All right. And then what happened?
Myself and Sergeant Stiles entered the cell. We both drew our tasers, attempted to get him to comply so that we could get the knife away from him. He refused. I deployed my taser at that point. He got back up, pulled the knife again, and slashed all three of us that were on. I'm sorry, let me back up. Slashed the two of us, and Glorp at some point entered the fray, and he had slashed all three of us at some point.
One eternity later.
Prosecution. Any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would like to call Glorp to the stand.
If it were anybody else, I would reconsider. The court recognizes Glorp. Please approach the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We must let the dog up.
Do you swear to tell the whole truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under the penalties of perjury up to and including death, so help you the great cat caught in the sky?
Yes.
Wonderful.
You're just so dang cute. I'm sorry. Okay.
Prosecution, your witness.
Glorp. Well, quick. Your Honor, do you want me to start with open-ended questions and see if Glorp's able to answer, or would you be okay with more yes or no questions?
Considering the nature of Glorp, their testimony will be duly weighted.
Okay, so you're okay with the more yes or no?
I am comfortable with whichever, with the understanding that there's going to be some levity here.
Okay, thank you. All right, Glorp. Did you ride with them to this robbery call? No? Okay, so you weren't a part of any of that?
No.
Okay. Now, did you go down into the cells?
Yes.
All right. Do you know why you were down in the cells?
Here, radio, help.
So, for clarification, someone was calling for help on the radio?
Yes,
Okay. Did you see that guy over there in the black jacket? Did you see him down there?
yes.
Eventually.
Alrighty, prosecution, defense, do you need time for closings or are you ready?
Ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll indeed. Prosecution, you're closing.
So, we have Youngsta Stack, Mr. Stack here, the defendant, facing robbery, hostage taking, evading, aggravated assault, and attempted murder of government employee 4 times. All right. So, our officers respond to a dispatch call of a robbery with the suspect on scene of the robbery. The suspect then engaged in negotiations involving a hostage they took to levy negotiations to get away from said robbery. The suspect then evaded in not 1, but 2 vehicles in an attempt to get away. He then shot at a hero and he missed, but he shot attempting to cause him harm. He then shot at 2 officers with a gun when all he had to do was run away. He wasn't in an enclosed and trapped area. It was open. It was on a hill on a mountain. He didn't have to shoot. He had no reason to shoot. He could have ran. Then, whenever he did get caught, he stabbed multiple officers multiple times. He beat down Officer Fitzpatrick, and that wasn't enough, so he stabbed him. Then he stabbed Lieutenant Slice multiple times, and then he even stabbed Sweet Baby Glorp Glorp, the goodest boy. He lunged, he sliced, he stabbed multiple times, causing serious harm to everyone that he made contact with that knife. And there has been absolutely nothing presented to say otherwise. They didn't even say he didn't do that stuff. They didn't say he wasn't there. Nothing. He did it. He's not even denying it, Your Honor. Justice should be served.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense!
Your Honor, I'd just like to start off by saying that this officer did a spectacular job prosecuting this case, and she's a f***ing baller. She should be wearing a suit, not a uniform. But
The PD actually stole her from us.
I see. Well, let me just say that she's right. You'll see that I didn't come up here and try to argue the facts, really. My defendant back here is kind of a dumbass, and he did a lot of stupid things. He thinks he's funny, I think. He's really not all that funny. I don't really like him that much. I support the police officers, and I don't like the things he did. However, I don't think this was a useful waste of any of our time. I think everyone's time could have been better spent if we had negotiated. Because the state has to prove intent to go with murder here. And they know they don't have intent. This guy, he's pretty funny. I mean, I really don't think he was trying to kill anybody. Do I think he's stupid and he was trying to get away? Absolutely. But I don't think he was trying to kill anybody. What I think I also presented to this court very clearly was a huge bias where they were trying to make an example of my client. And that's not how this justice system is supposed to work. 11 years. They did not even try to prove intent, and they want you to give him over 11 years. Just let that sink in, everything that can happen in your life in 11 years, how long that is.
Yeah, I know where he's going for.
Intent was not proven here, Your Honor. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Alrighty, I will be going into the back along with my clerk to deliberate and come to a verdict. I will then come out and read that verdict. In the meantime, while I am gone, I expect all of you to behave with decent decorum. Whoever's phone is going off, $2,500 contempt. Bailiff, you will be responsible for maintaining decorum along with the justice to my left. If she issues contempt, you give it to him. Thank you. We shall return. All right, so let's talk about this from the top down. Ready? I'm going to go through each charge. I'm going to bounce them off of you. Robbery. Guilty. Hostage taking. Guilty. Evading. Guilty. Aggravated assault. Guilty. Attempted murder of a government employee times 4. First one, guilty. Second one, guilty. The other two are the problem children, okay? You ready?
Mhm.
So, Fitzpatrick down in the cells, that's definitively going to be attempted murder. That's the easy one, right? The second easy one is Slice. Slice's story lined up properly with the other stories and actually was the most cohesive of the timelines. So,
Right.
he got stabbed so badly that he needed emergency medical and all of that, right? The bottom one, the fourth, I think that one's going to be not guilty because a tiny puncture of a little vest on Glorp Glorp is not murder.
I agree.
So the last one is, I think, from Trent copping a bullet on wearing a vest.
Yeah.
And to be fair, they were firing at the same time. I think the level of confusion in that area was way too high. So not guilty on those two.
That's just because Storm kicks ass.
All right. It has been a long case, but we have finally reached the conclusion. My verdict will be final. I will offer a short post-op for both sides after court is adjourned. Short being the operative word. I'm going to be catching a late-night Matrix marathon. So, firstly, this court will be finding Mr. Youngster Stack guilty of the crimes of robbery, hostage-taking, evading, and aggravated assault. This is due to the level of evidence available and the lack of any sort of disqualification of this evidence. However, the 4 times attempted murder of a government employee, the court will be finding Mr. Stack guilty of 2 counts. One for his stabbing of Officer Fitzpatrick and another for his stabbing of Officer Slice. The other 2 charges you shall be found not guilty. With this, you are to be remanded to the police for sentencing, with the recommendation from the courts that you be provided an additional 120 months of time served for your decent behavior during this trial. Thank you. This court is now adjourned.
You know what, Sidewalk? GG's, I'll take it.
Officers, send that man to jail.
Nobody?
And I want it known that shooting officers is deplorable. Take that time to think about your behavior, sir.
Your Honor, I did not shoot anybody.
Stabbing them.